So in this video, I'm gonna turn my E30 M3 from looking like this into looking like this. I can't believe I took my project car that took me 3 years to build and I disassembled it in one afternoon. All because the time when I wanted to build this E30 M3, I envisioned something quite more different. I needed a guinea pig of a car to build so that if I had to make a mistake in building the real one, which I was building for a friend, I would rather have that mistake happen on my car. So a lot of my car was my learnings, which eventually transformed into art. So any mistakes that were on the car was because of art. What I did was I built something that nobody else has built before. But then I decided to take it all apart. This is because I wanted it to complement my 1M in its uniqueness. And my personality is such that when I want something, I want the last number. I want something nobody else has, something nobody has done before. And that's where this whole vision of building the E30 M3 came about. So initially I wanted the E30 M3 to complement my 1M, being alpine white in color. So, even at the start I was still undecisive. First started off as Santorini blue, then I had the thoughts of making it black, but then I made it white. But the real essence of what I wanted was staring me in the face for a very long time. This is what I wanted. I wanted it to look like this. And this is what I decided to do. So in this video, I'm gonna turn my E30 M3 from looking like this into looking like this. And I hope you guys appreciate it because it was many hours of editing and video work, and it's one long video. And it's still work in progress because there's still a lot of things that I still need to finish, but it's 90% complete. So without further ado, enjoy how I transform my E30 M3.
You're most probably wondering, what the heck is this guy up to? Let me tell you what happened. This is what happened. I enjoyed the multi-valve motor in this car, and specifically the 328 and the 330 of this motor. Now I couldn't get the motor that I was looking for, which was the 330 motor. It was just out of budget and a bit unrealistic because I do have plans to do something crazy with it. But which car is it going into? It's going into this car, into my E30 M3 replica. So as you can see, I've taken out the M20 motor, but I've seen like a whole lot of patchwork and things like this here at the bottom. And you guys know me, I can't put in a motor in this car looking in this state. So what I have bought is I bought sandpaper and a whole lot of elbow grease to this party. And I bought a new cradle as well. So this entire cradle here, I'm gonna cut it out and I'm gonna put in a brand new cradle in this car, clean up the engine bay, and potentially match it up to that gearbox at the back. I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but we'll wait and see. The next thing I wanna do is I wanna change the color on the car. So I'm either thinking of a gray or a red. I think it will look absolutely class if I have to change the color just to complement the wheels. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. I'm not gonna end the video here and give you like a 5 minutes. Let's wait for the motor to arrive. Let's start cleaning the engine bay. So it's a nice long video where you guys can enjoy the whole process in one video.
Step number 1, drill out these rivets. Now that that's done, let's see the mess. So this is where the turbo burnt all this paint off. You can see it made a big mess. So what's next? Let's get down to sanding it. Next step to this here is for us to cut this cradle off, cut it neatly down there as straight as possible, and we'll carry on chopping as we go along. Some areas we might have to chop it out, like here on the side. Just leave it on the side for now, or leave it down there. We can take out the locks and that later, right? The next thing we do is, let's chop this piece off here. Let's chop it off. At it, we thought we might as well clean the back firewall. So BMW does sell one, but it's very expensive. It's like almost 7-8 grand. So I got some of the silver stick-on material, and we made some provisional holes. We'll neaten it up. Then we'll start sticking it as in when we go to clean up the back portion of the engine bay. Now with it looking relatively decent, I'm going to hit it with a touch of black spray. See how OEM as possible we can make it. So as the sun sets, it was a busy day. It took us quite a long time to get this finally completed. It came out very nice, I must say. So you won't see most of the, I'll clean those two aircon pumps out, take some steel wool and clean that out. But this whole area now is black, including the top part. We've got the cover that sits on over there. So this whole area here at the back will just be black, which is what we're looking for. Looking for cleanliness and aesthetics. Then I reran the brake line. The brake line used to run up and into this cover, but all the lines were running up. And yeah, it just was untidy, so I redid that part. The brake line, I'm going to run it along the subframe, and then the clutch line as well, I'm going to run it down here. This is the accelerator cable. I'm going to run it down here, let it run parallel to this, and let it also run along here. I'll make some brackets to clip them in, and then it will run to the back for the gearbox on that side. So that's the clutch line. And then take that off, clean that up. So the idea here is I bought some plates. I'm gonna close off here, seal that up so engine bay looks smooth. Clean up there, here as well, clean this up. Clean up here. So this I think is a factory bump. Clean up this factory bump here and this bump here, and remove the suspension so I can touch up there on the top by the nuts and the bolts. So once that's all clean, it will look absolutely amazing. Need to find a rubber grommet. I don't know where is the grommet for this thing. I must find it. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we test fit the motor in, then we take it from there. So as you know, just as a project starts and I finished it, I start a new project again. So I got the guys out here. We're gonna clean up the engine bay. There's some stuff here on the inside that I don't like you can see here where the body meets here. It started to crack, so we're gonna fix this properly. There was a dent here that obviously I want to fix nicely as well, and some of the other stuff on this side here. So like here, there, these runs, and here, so like these cracks, all of these things, that's all marked, and get this car looking immaculate. So let them do that there, and you guys are in for a treat because I'm gonna change the color. Off we go with the fiberglass. So you can see it makes quite a mess, but this is the right way to do it, to close that gap so that the two panels are bonded nicely together. Another dent I see over on that side there, and then found a crack on this side, also Need to sort that out. And then we'll sort this out here. All this way here. You can see some of the work. You can see here it's all been closed up. Everything has been closed up here. So part of the process when doing an M54 swap is the actual oil pickup. So in terms of what we have here, original sum. So I cut a hole for you guys so you guys can actually see. Kelvin, come hold it here to the bolt to show us exactly where the oil is picking up from. Okay. So you can see it's almost at the base of it. Where's our new sump? The gold one. So our sump, the bowl moves to the front. So I want to try and get exactly to this height here, to the side. So what I need to do is I need to see, okay, my oil pump sits at this level here. So here's my oil pump here. I think my oil pump is sitting here. So from this point here, so from here, if you draw an imaginary line across, how much more must it go to come down? Then I'll cut the tube and shorten the tube so that the pickup is here at the bottom. So if we check here, please put this oil pump in a packet so it will look something like this. That's how it will look. But now it's for us to determine how deep this thing is going to have to be. So let's see. Okay, Simon, put this in a packet. So when all is just done, the front sump will come on. You can see the bowl is in the front as opposed to the bowl being at the back. Times when you're skeptical and you see something on Instagram and you don't know if it's going to work. So I bought the scan from Grey Moon. I saw them on TikTok and Instagram and whatever. And what this is, it's car spray in a can, and it really helped me a lot because you guys gonna see the color. Obviously not the whole car, but just some of the color, and you'll see some of the stuff that I was managed to spray without the so here you can see the bars, they've been all sprayed nicely. The arms, so these are original E30 M3 ones, like that there. But that I didn't spray there. The inside of the doors, I managed to hit it on the inside of the doors, some of the engine bay as well. So this product really works very well. So it's been a long weekend. From the last scene to up until now has been about 4 days. 4 days of hard work. But what an amazing transformation. Let me not keep you guys in suspense. Have a look at work in progress. We'll get to the end result at the end of it, of this video. So I've gone with Hellrot Red. So just see, front cradle is still not in. I've cleaned up the engine bay like how I showed you guys. So all of that has been cleaned there. Suspension is going in now. Motor will go in afterwards. Just to give you guys a glimpse of how the paint looks. If I remove this, shining. So the process to get it to this point here was 2000 3M sandpaper, 2500 3M sandpaper, then 2000 on an orbital. So with an orbital it doubled, so that's actually 4000, and then I did 8000 afterwards, and your polish of choice. So I still have a lot of work to finish up. I need to get this petrol cap sorted out. There's the bumpers sitting over there. Here's some of the pads. The pad is useless. But what brand was this? Shine Mate. So there's a few things and dents that I need to sort out. Here's a nice healthy run of the clear there that I need to sort out there. Busy wet sanding the boot. There's the cradle. So I'm actually thinking of making the cradle bolt on, and then we have a whole array of parts
that needs to still go on. That's for another project there. Strap bar. So yeah, we're getting there slowly, but at the end of the day it's going to be worth it, because I'll tell you why. You see, there's a couple white E30 M3s in South Africa. There's a black E30 M3. I've seen pictures of a pillarless. I'm not too sure that actually exists, but there's no red E30 M3. So that's the change in the project. The project was a motor change and a color change, and maybe a wheel change. Maybe change the color of the wheel. So it just depends on how this project pans out. But I'm not going to take you guys through everything. I'm going to start installing the doors, installing the boot, putting all the small pieces back together, and then yeah, see what I'm going to do on the interior side. So let's wait till the next clip. Another early start to the morning, another start to the project, another start to a new day. We keep on pushing forward. Yesterday we made some solid progress. We worked until the sun went down. So let me show you guys how far we got. So the calipers, the discs, the suspension is all in. So because I have such a big caliper, I need to run a spacer. Because I'm running a spacer, it's pushing the wheel out. So what I ended up doing was getting some camber plates. You can see on that side and this side here. This is just for the strut brace. I need to tilt the motor a little bit more to the left, so I have an idea how I'm gonna do that. I got an idea how I'm gonna do that. So the motor is in, gearbox is in, front suspension almost in. Right, front suspension is almost in. Interior I'm not too concerned about. Boot carpet is in, so we just need to put in the hinges, left, right. Then tail lights is in, number plate holder, the other tail light, so the bumper. So the plan for today is, petrol cap is also in. I need to find the petrol cap, put that in. But the plan for today is to get the back bumper on, petrol cap on, boot on, side windows on, sunroof lid on, and maybe finish up that suspension on that side. Then we're going to be starting to look like a car. And just like that, we are almost. There were those Krispy Kreme donuts sitting on my cheek, on my cheek lips. Just like that, we're done. Well, I wouldn't say completely done. I've got a lot of stuff done, but majority of the stuff still needs some work. But if I have to wait for such a long time, I'm not going to be able to reveal this car to you guys, which I'm quite chuffed about. It came out really nice. So take it in its full glory. Complete color change. I didn't change the trim of the windows. I still kept them black. But now in red, you can actually see that the C-pillar pops out a lot more. Yes, there's some flat spots here. That's because there were some issues on the paint that I needed to touch up, and I haven't yet polished it. But I think what I enjoy the most is how the red of the brake light complements the red of the body. Even the spoiler, it just looks like with white, there's just no you couldn't see that curvature come down, because as the light plays on that angle of the body, it just makes it pop. Red just makes it pop. I have a couple so on the interior I haven't done anything much. So yeah, I see I need to, so there I'm not like a panel beater, so I don't really know how to align these things. And the front bumper is not on because I haven't put on the fan, but she is there. She's gonna get ready to go in. In the previous clip, you've guys seen me make engine mounts. Let me just show you what I did so that you guys are up to speed. You can see there that aluminium plate at the bottom. So that was just to raise the motor. Done a complete wire tuck original E30 M3 water bottle on this side. So the entire engine bay will just look absolutely stunning, clean, no issues. We got a B28 motor in the car. Yeah, so enjoy it, savor the moment. Things that I am planning to do. So if you look at the back dishes don't look the same as the front dishes. I'm potentially gonna step this up to a 17, but with a 1-inch dish. I don't know how's that gonna look, but I'm gonna see. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to remove the wheel and tires from this car and split the wheel and do, you know, things like that. I think the biggest lesson from this build is that when you're building a car, you got to choose, number one, period appropriate paint. So don't build an E30 and start putting G80 M3 color schemes. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You need period appropriate wheels as well. So that being said, this is now ultimately unique. This for me is what I feel is, or how my E30 M3 should have been. So in the next videos, let's see if we can get it started. Let's see if we can get it going, get it running. But yeah, this transformation took about, all in all, with touching the car. So it's like some days I touched it, some days I didn't touch it. I think it took us about a week to go from looking like this to looking like this.